would like, first of all, to thank you, the organizers, for giving me the opportunity to be here. I'm a mining engineer by background. I study at the National Technical University of Athens. Then I worked as a mine engineer. I'm a professor at the Technical University of Athens, and my area of expertise is the interface between mining, society, and environment, which is a critical one. And I really feel like home between mining engineers. So I'm here to present you the case of Lavrion Technological and Cultural Park. It is an interesting project that I would like to say a successful one. But let's start from the beginning. If I may. No? Will someone help me with this? Just a minute. Yeah, I know. I can do it without presentation, but okay, let's go on. Just a minute. Anyway, I will start with the story. Let's get back some 1,000 years, really 1,000 years. I mean, Herodotus, the great historian, said that, yes, that nobody can predict when the mining took place in this area. It is supposed to be something like 3,000 or 1,000 years before the current era, which means something like 5 or 6,000 years ago. Okay. Is it okay? Okay. And it was a really huge mining activity there, really huge. In terms of industrial scale, not only in terms of the ancient times. I mean, no, not again. Sorry. I will continue the story. All of you heard about the ancient Athens and the golden era of ancient Athens. Actually, it was the mines behind it. We say that the golden era of ancient Athens was attributed to the mine, to the...
It's working, yeah, that's all.
Okay. Okay. So, this is the Parthenon, and we all know that without the power and the wealth of the silver mines in Lavrion, this is going to be happen. So there's another interesting story behind this. This is the battleship of Salamis. It is considered to be one of the turning points in the Western civilization, because at the times the Greeks made it to win the Persians, the invaders, and things like that. The story goes like this. It is the discovery of a mining of an ore, of a silver ore at the time, that gave the Athenians the possibility to build 200 more ships in order to have something like comparable power in the sea. So mines played a completely decisive role in ancient Greeks. And the story goes like this and continues in the modern era. This is the French mining company, Compagnie Française de Mines de l'Orium, which started exploiting the slugs, the huge slugs left behind from the ancient Greeks. And actually, this is the beginning of the era of the Industrial Revolution in Greece. So in the same place, first Industrial Revolution took place, and then on this slide you can see the power station in our premises in the former CFML premises, which is meant there just to show you that the second industrial revolution also took place in the same premises. So it is a very historic place, but as it happened in so many other cases of traditional mining, the third industrial revolution pushed aside all these kind of places. This is in the middle of 80s, and what left behind is a really economic, environmental, and social crisis, and a huge environmental problem. This is the contribution of arsenic in the premises of LDCP. I'm not giving you figures and numbers, but you can see from the color, everything apart from a light green is over the limits for arsenic. So red, deep red, brown, the black is very, very high arsenic content, which is very, very dangerous thing. What we did, we extracted all the contaminated soil from a depth of something like half a meter to 3 meters, and we gathered all these contaminated soil in an installation like this, a completely waterproof installation, containing something like 200,000 cubic meters of very contaminated soil. And on the top of it, there is another problem, very difficult problem to solve, which is undergoing now. We are about to deal with it completely the next month. Is the problem of the Konofagos building. Konofagos is the name of a mining engineer who literally saved hundreds of workers by building this building filter. He gathered all the fumes of the metallurgy through this filter in order to save the workers. But within this building, there are something like 2,000 and more kilograms of arsenic when the lethal dose for arsenic is 0.1 gram. What we've done with this building, Herman said in the morning that the right place for the valuable thing is underground. It stands the same for the very hazardous thing, which is a very costly thing as well. So instead of gathering all this arsenic and exporting to people that make a lot of money by storing this kind of very hazardous waste for hundreds of years and making money, very, very big money out of that, we developed an tailor-cut installation, the one you see on the right-hand side, which is a typical room and pillar method mine. And we transformed it into an underground hazardous waste repository. It is one of the good things we've done there. Let's go on. A few words about our projects. LTCP restoration plan. 4 objectives, 4 goals. First, to rescue this valuable heritage in terms of our industrial past, in terms of our historical past. Second, to help the community deal with a severe environmental problem. The third objective is something that I would like to say a few more words. These buildings are very, very beautiful, are intriguing. And many people maybe believe that it is the outcome of a very good architect, but it is not like this. All these buildings, especially the ones of the 19th century, was part of the mining process. It was part of the machinery. That is what it is so exotic. Our core idea is to interpret, to find out the role they used to play at the first and the second industrial revolution, and to find out modern land uses, modern processes having the same need in order to make the bridge with the characteristics of the building and the new and modern process. This is our third goal. And of course, we wanted so much to make a bridge between culture and technology. So our park is Lavrion Technological and Cultural Park with an emphasis in the interface between technology and culture, because technology creates culture. Not only as a mean, but it creates itself culture. So our current vision is to bring these premises once again in the forefront of the current industrial revolution and help this revolution to take the right route, because we all know that it is not given that the fourth industrial revolution will make only good to the planet. Let's move on. Some numbers according to LCP. The acquisition amount was not very big. It was 1.4 million euros because we bought a very contaminated place. And we put on this something like 20 million euros in the restoration project and in the building restoration. Now, the present asset value as land and buildings themselves are more than 35 million euros, and we are proud to say that we attracted something more than 50 million euros of the private sector in various projects within our premises. Some other numbers: more than 1,200 cultural and educational events, big ones, within the 20 years of our lifespan, more than 200,000 visitors, and more than 60 startups in the perfect ecosystem of LTCP. Now, our last and probably our biggest project is the installation of Daedalus within this place. Daedalus will be the strongest hypercomputer in Greece after 2 years, and will be the sixth strongest hypercomputer in EU. And the LTCP will host Daedalus in the same place of the power plant I showed you before. This is a general idea how the place will look like after the installation of Daedalus. Now, a few words about Mine.io and the twin idea, the twin concept. I refer sometimes to mining as an elephant. An elephant is very strong. If it moves fast, it can make a lot of damage, by the way. It is very difficult to turn, and it is very difficult to test on him. So we all know that it is a very difficult thing to teach old dog new tricks. So think about an elephant. So if we're able to make a digital twin to this elephant, making advantage of all the sophisticated approaches of the fourth industrial revolution, we can play with it, we can test with it our ideas about what can be more efficient, and if we have tangible results, we can go on with implementing them. This is the core idea of a digital twin. So the Mine.io project and the digital twins are meant to create a complete digital twin to the mining sector as a whole, from the exploration to the management of the waste, to the post-mining users. For example, AMDC, by the way, is the holding company of Lavrion Technological and Cultural Park. AMDC belongs to the National Technical University of Athens. So it is a public organization. We have no funding at all. We make our living by renting the buildings with such an aesthetic value, and we rent it a little bit high in rentals, by participating in research projects, and by using our premises in the creative industry, in cinemas and TV series like this. It is like that, it is like something 40 to 20% our budget. So our role in this project is we're the leader in pilot use case campaign, and I would like to say a few things about what the digital twin means in our case. For example, I show you this installation of the tri-tube. It is very crucial for us to understand what is going on inside. So we use all photogrammetry, magnetometry, and so many other methods in order to, because we know almost everything about what is inside, in order to calibrate our methods in a real case. And then we can use these methods in other sites, in other heaps with contaminated land. A second example. This underground hazardous waste repository. It is meant to be there for 400, 500 years. In order to wait for the technology to be mature and to give us a solution, a feasible solution, a technical solution to make this arsenic inert, which is not feasible yet. It is very vital to understand what is going on the top of this hazardous waste repository. So we put inside a detector of muons. Muons are the cosmic radiation. So actually we have a clear view what is going on in real time on the top of us by examining this cosmic radiation. And of course, as a pilot plant, all this experience we can implement it in other similar cases. So this is my presentation, and I will be happy to discuss with you if there are questions. Teşekkürler.
Okay, thank you, Dimitrios. Do you have any question? Okay, Mr. Caner. Burada.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much. Very interesting and a different form of rehabilitation project you presented to us. Here's my question. At the end, you said these dry tombs are the best options to segregate hazardous material from the environment. How do you get its permit from your Ministry of Environment?
Because
that's question
the
one.
Minister of Environment was at this dilemma. Either to give us permission to make a dry tomb, which is about within the next 20 years, will be the ore of the future. Somebody will get it and it will get it to metallurgy, or to deal with the problems now. And they gave us the permission. It is the same with the Konofagos building. Nobody in Greece has any idea to deal with such a complicated environmental problem. There is an anecdote about this. in 20 years ago, something like that. I was within this building with all this necessary equipment, things like that. I took some samples and I emailed in a very experienced company in the United States. Okay, I'm in a building, I have this amount of arsenic there, and do you have any suggestions? And the answer was, it was very simple: get out of here or there now. But it was within our premises, 2,000 kilograms of arsenic. And yes, you're right. One of the best achievements is to convince the bureaucracy that they should act fast. They took us 10 years, but actually they did it.
Okay, well, you may convince the Greek bureaucracy, but how about the EU Commission, legislative, whatever they are?
In EU Commission, the situation was a little bit better because at the time they had similar problems. For example, they didn't know how to deal with the mercury of the temperature thing, you know, the mercury. This is quite a problem. It is very similar to arsenic, a heavy metal with so many consequences and things like that. They found out that this pilot scale can be implemented in the case of the mercury, because it is very safe, it is there's not a big one, and we can gather all the mercury throughout Europe. So we're better in EU in this. It was more open in new. You know something? Underground, the use of the underground space is something very emerging now. For example, I have another. I'm the president of ACUS. ACUS stands for Associate Center for the Urban Underground Space. Actually, there is no future in big cities, especially the megapolis, after bigger than 10 million, without using systematically our underground. So data centers, not to speak about the metros and things like that, all the logistics. So the underground space, it is very, very close to what we are discussing now, because there are so many underground mining to deal with them. So in this case, the underground hazardous waste repositories is something that the bigger organizations are more or less familiar with them. Germany makes a lot of money by having in all salt mines very sophisticated, very profitable hazardous waste repositories, including nuclear waste.
Okay, another questions, Mr.
Yes.
Just two questions could be related to each other. One is basically the twin part of the old heritage, just standing there, and obviously based on the digitalization of these operations from the past. The question is, do you plan to digitize the old data? And the second one, if I have not heard correctly or mistakenly, you are using the technology Mayan. We always thought that this was the playground for this astrophysicists, and now you are talking about the birthplace of the universe, and the Mayans being applied to the cosmic radiation and so on. Can you just give us just a glimpse of that technology to apply here? Thank you.
If I know, the only thing I know is that there is a huge development of Mayan technology in geotechnical implementation, because Mayans can penetrate the environment up to some 1,000 meters. So by investigating their roots, you can make a picture about what is going on the top. And this is something that is emerging now and with very good results. And as far as the other thing, nothing is more intriguing than the mining spaces. Nothing is more intriguing than that. It's something exotic for so many people, not only the architects. Of course, for the architects, it's something that they love it. I mean, human beings need to have past. It needs to be part of a route. And our sector, because it is very closely related to the root of the humankind, there are so many steps showing things. So within our premises, it is a gallery with more than 3,000 years of age. So our visitors can put their hands where the slaves 2,000, 3,000 years before worked like that. It is something very strong as an experience.
Okay.
And we can do a lot of things for the digital part of it. You know something, virtual reality is a very strong thing, but it is very difficult for virtual reality to be compared with a simple video. If it is not the case for the ancient world or for imaginative world. So we can do a lot of things with virtual reality within these old galleries. Our next idea.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Sorry for...
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Okay, conference.
Yes.